The market is starting to heat up, especially if you look at the fundamentals, the news, the narratives. It's huge. I would argue it's huge. When you get to see SEC getting hit hard by one court and another, you now understand that before was lacking faithful allegiance to law and a lot of other things like being hypocritical. Right now, it's like arbitrary and capricious. Now, as a non native English speaker, I had to go check this and I'm like, yeah, the quote is 100% true. Whatever they spoke is clear, given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior. It's not a 3 year old we are talking about. We are talking about the SEC, a regulatory body in our country where you're playing with the technology, which is the technology of the future. And right now, whatever these guys are saying, it's critical because we are watching crypto market getting the attraction it needs on the media, on the rules, every area at a time. When the banking industry is about to collapse, there is no doubt in that unless they move it into a new financial infrastructure. So it kind of proves the point that XRP is about to take off. A lot of crypto assets are about to run crazy for sure. If you remember what we talked about in our recent video, we actually gave you the idea that this is about to happen. Watch, this is an asset. It's not XRP, 100% true. But I told you, watch, it's going to happen like this. What did happen? The price came back down. It bounced off from that level. That means just one thing. The market is showing you massive opportunity right here, right now. If you are ready to take that in your hands, make sure you close that. You have to keep this in mind. In next few months, things are going to change. You're watching a lot of assets moving according to the technicals. Now, what does that mean? Market makers are starting to do something. And if you are able to understand that they are doing this and you understand that before it happens, it's so happy for a lot of people. I'm really happy that at least some of you guys actually come out and highlight the fact that we talked about this and it did happen as we talked. That means you got the time and understanding of this asset is about to do something like this, and it did, which means you have an upper hand in the market because you didn't follow someone else who was giving you the idea that the Bitcoin is about to drop to the downside, because we shared this narrative saying, guys, watch. This can be a contrarian view, but I think in next 2 to 5 weeks, it's going to be interesting. And that was a week before. So now we are watching that the Bitcoin price is reflecting that. My point here is not just I'm calling it out. My key point here is I want you guys to learn what that basic call actually means. It was a breakout in the strength index, and that is what exactly happened here. The strength did break higher, so the market is starting to get interesting. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. It's really interesting to watch how the crypto market is playing out right now, with the volume of money moving out from the stable coins into the real assets. Yes, it's true that not all assets are built the same way and not all of them are doing the same thing. You are watching some of them riding much higher. We had all our calls on them. And I'm happy that you guys are watching that. Let it be the Bitcoin Cash, let it be the Rune, let it be all of these other coins, which it does give you the idea that the market kind of gives you the actual perspective to watch that this is happening. See, some of this kind of gives you the best advantage. See, if you look at XRP right now, zooming in, it kind of gives you the idea that, yeah, it was doing this stuff. It had a possible bounce coming in. And then you look at the macro because you want to understand, okay, the monthly close for XRP is coming soon, along with all the other assets. But we want to make sure where we stand. Are we looking to get a bullish close? If we do get a bullish monthly close, what does that mean? I mean, in your opinion, what do you think? Because personally, I would argue that this level kept it as a support. The price bounced. Again, the next level was strong as a support. Double bottom on that. You bounced off. Now we're coming back to do that similar retest. Historically speaking, once you do all these tests and the support is still strong, the price takes off. So now we are looking at the resistance and support to see which area the price is getting the least resistance. Say if you look at the bottom here, you're trying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 repeatedly and it's failing, which means it has a lot of resistance to the downside or buyers are active. That's the support range where you are getting that momentum, which means now you're going to go higher to test that next level of resistance. Great. If you look at the price action, Bitcoin is moving higher. The actual strength is showing a little bit higher momentum, which is good. That's on a short-term horizon. But on a macro, you need to keep this in mind. We have this range. We did a reversal pattern for sure, an inverse head and shoulder. We bounced off. After which we did a rectangular pattern. We discussed about that in detail in last video where we actually gave you the highlight. Watch this. If the market is doing these kind of rectangles, either it's an accumulation or it's a distribution. So it's our turn to understand what the market is doing. And when you see something trending higher, this is exactly what I told you last time, right? Watch for that. It may bounce off from there. That example was using XDC. And what happened? It bounced off. Now we are watching something similar happening in a lot of different assets. And that's exciting. If Bitcoin decides to break higher from this rectangle, inside which the price is making higher lows, higher highs, barely, not the big higher high and higher low, but still it's doing that. Now we are watching a hidden divergence happening here. What is it? The RSI is showing you that the strength is going down. Great. You're watching that. It's a channel. The price says, no, I don't look that weak. I'm bouncing hard. So the question here becomes like, okay, is that a bullish divergence? Is that a bearish divergence? Remember, your strength is putting in a lower low at a time when the price is moving higher. That is this one. Your RSI is going down, the oscillator, and the price is moving up. That's hidden bullish divergence. So if you're like me, you need to look at all this, keep that printed, let it be handy. Because when you have a doubt, you need to refer back and say, okay, I think if the history is like that, I'll go with the history. I don't have to go against the history because at this time in history, you don't want to be wrong. Because if you actually get a run up in next 3 months, 6 months, or a year, and it's done, you don't want to wait next 3-4 years. Believe me, with what's about to happen on the other end of the world, which is a banking system, you really don't want to hold on for next 3-4 years without taking profits. It's going to be really, really important to take profit and split it into the real assets which can survive, non-duplicatable assets. Let it be a real estate, say a beachfront property. You cannot duplicate that. Let it be a crypto asset. You cannot duplicate that. But you have to take a look at where it is in its market cycle. If it's at the sky high, nah, you're not buying at that time. Yes, that's a great asset, but at the wrong time. You want to make sure that it's an asset which is great. It's going to survive for the next few years, but it's at the right time. It's about to go back higher. You don't want to catch this top. You want to catch this bottom or somewhere inside this so that when it take off, you are in it. Now, this is Bitcoin. Yes, I agree. The upside is not that huge, but this is XRP. With all that's happening, I don't think we have a doubt that we are going this direction. I don't actually doubt that. A lot of people may give you different opinion in the market. Some may say it's going to go like nuts. Some may say it's not going anyway. It's going to go back down. This is the range. You're going to go back down. We don't know what's going to happen, but based on the history and what we can analyze from the market, this is what we are looking at. The price action does show us something important. We are here to learn from the market. So let's actually directly ask the market, like, okay, what do you really want to show us? Because unlike the mass media, here you are looking for history. If historically something is true, then you want to stand with it. Right now, when the Bitcoin price broke higher, why did that happen? Because its strength increased suddenly. What the hell is XRP doing right now? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I'm looking at. You have that exact break structure. So you had the structure, you broke higher. You consolidated a bit, then you pumped. If that's true, we are looking for a bounce back close to 0.6, 0.65, and that's just the starting part of it. And that's where it gets interesting, because now you're going on to a 3-day chart, you're going on to a weekly, monthly, to see where exactly we fit into the actual narrative. Because if it's showing you that this is where we are, I'm like, okay, that's huge. Because it shows you the RSI did drop like what we have done in the past, in the history, but the price didn't drop that much, which means even though sellers came in hard on this asset, buyers didn't back out. Believe me, I didn't back out, and I strongly believe you did the same, which means we are strong. No people, whale, financial institution, or any fraudster cannot play with us. They cannot handle the truth, because we are already here taking time learning the market. And we understand the fact that, okay, this is that phase where they try to take my XRP away from me. I'm not giving them. It's offline. You cannot touch it. So basically, you need to have your emotions under control. You need to have an idea about which direction we are going. Maybe it's $5, maybe it's $20, maybe it's $500. Who knows? But one thing is sure, it's not the current price. If it's $5, okay, it's a 10x from here. I'm not hyping up. If it's $20, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic, I'm taking the profits. Boom. If it's much higher, great, we'll average up. So we all have a perspective about the market. We want to make sure that matches with what the market is trying to show us. Now, you can use an oscillator. There's a lot of different indicators out there, but you want to make sure that you personally follow an indicator which is watched by majority of traders. Because when you see something, it's not like, there is a secret indicator. I got this, no one else has it. Okay, then dump that shit. Basically, that's what I believe in. Because if you see something and none other is watching that, what does that mean? No one else is going to buy and push the price up. You want to enter when the market makers are trying to push the price up. And that is exactly where the price of XRP is at right now. A monthly close is coming and you're literally at that support. So if that's true, the next month should open like this, going up. That is going to be exciting. This happened last time, the price went up. This happens right now. I'm not against the history, which means we are all watching this market to run up. We are about to watch this market going higher for sure, but you'll need some more patience. The market, when it runs up, it will not run up altogether. Some of them will do 20, 30%, maybe 50, 60%. Some of them will have a down day. You want to actually look at where it's in the market cycle and what it's doing. If it's a normal small correction after a run up, you shouldn't get panicked, because that's buy the dip opportunity in that asset. Because on the other end, you're watching all these candles popping. Don't chase the green candles, because that may not end up as you really wish to. As a trader, as an investor, you don't want to end up catching the peak where all these other guys want to take profit. You want to buy it, whether it's a short-term micro trade or a long-term trade, at an area where it's whales accumulating. They are actually moving the price sideways to accumulate as much as possible before the bull run starts. And if it's true, XRP, the bull run has already started. Does that mean it's only XRP? No, for sure. There's a lot of different assets doing that. But it's also XRP this time. We watched XRP being super slow last few years when a lot of other assets were taking off. This time, XRP is joining the party, and that's where, it's not hype actually, it's the real happiness which is coming from inside, because we've been buying this asset, holding on to this asset over the last 5-6 years. And when this actually goes higher, you do take profit for sure. We did take that here. So we want to make sure next time when we top out, we end up at the top. That's the huge thing for me. So if you receive value for your time, smash that like button. And if you're looking for updates like this, follow the link here. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.